Morning all and welcome back to a new video, and you are watching what is going to be the first episode of the Blair White Brief, in which I'm going to be going through on a weekly basis the big racing news, the big racing races obviously, and giving you my version of events, I suppose, perhaps also looking forward to the races in the weekend ahead. It will probably be a weekly thing, so hopefully it will go down well. But to start us off, I'm going to do a proper kind of Christmas recap, because obviously so much racing over Christmas, so many shock results, and kind of it's very hard to get a handle on what to think of all of it. So anyway, I'm going to start at Kempton, where King George obviously went to Clan des Obeaux. Now, Clan des Obeaux is a improving 6-year-old. He's now 7, of course, since the turn of the year, and he won the race really well from Thistlecrack, coming well clear of Native River. But I would have to question perhaps the long-term form of that race. I'm not sure what you guys think, but just like Native River, it's not his bag. That Kempton 3 miles at Kempton on that ground was never going to be his thing. He actually ran a very creditable race to come third. Like Bristol de Mai, he wouldn't have won because he was jumping so poorly anyway, but he's fallen and he's taken down waiting patiently as well. Politolog hasn't stayed. Might Bite is now a bust. So it's a hard one to really correlate, I think. Clan des Obeaux has been subject now to going down in the Gold Cup betting to, I think, around 10 to 1 best price. I'm just not sure. Similar with Kemboy for me, I'm just not sure whether that's really the greatest prize you're ever going to get, considering what he's done, because I think that King George has fallen apart ever so slightly. Also on, obviously, Stephen's Day at Kempton, we had the Christmas Hurdle. Now, if you came up to me and told me that at the start of the year you thought Bouvardere would get beat by somebody across the year, I would have said yes, because I went into the season one of the Bouvardere kind of, not disbelievers, but like saying that he'd won 2 pretty poor champion hurdles, and actually if something good came and raced against him, they'd beat him. But it just sums up me, because after the Newcastle performance when he demolished the Sam Crow, I was kind of going, geez, nothing is going to beat him, because I thought genuinely at the time, and I think a lot of people did, that Sam Crow, as stupid as it looks now, but he was the only horse that potentially could beat him. And he got absolutely stuffed. But then Bouvardere comes out, runs a poor enough race, and gets chinned by stablemate Verdana Blue, who seemingly wasn't even targeting the champion hurdle. Like, surely they have to run her in the race now, especially on good ground if it comes up. I just couldn't believe it. I was watching it live at Leopardstown. I honestly couldn't believe he just got chinned. Where does that leave the champion hurdle market, though? I still think Bouvardere is rightly at the head of affairs, because you don't know whether Verdana Blue is going to come and reoppose, and if so, I think Bouvardere is suited to Cheltenham more than he'll be suited to Kempton. This Lorena horse is the fly in the ointment, because we don't have a clue what she's like. She's pissing around in mares' races. Like, she finally looks like she's going to run at Sandown tomorrow, but it's another mares' race. Like, if she pisses in by 10 lengths in that, we'll know nothing more. Like, it actually makes it even more confusing. But she's almost shortening through the lack of ability from everybody else. You know, because obviously Sam Crow's gone out with the washing in terms of the price. Looks like he's going to be put away for the year. And that brings us to the Ryanair Hurdle. I might as well just do the two while we're at it. And obviously Sam Crow was a massive bust. There mustn't be, like, fundamentally, I think there is something wrong with the horse, because it travelled so well into the straight, and the last time I saw him travel so well into the straight was in the Deloitte Novice Hurdle at Leopardstown last year at the February meeting, and he just pissed clear by 5 lengths. Like, he won it on the snap. And then you have it there where he comes in seemingly cantering. Apart from Sharjah, everyone else was off the bridle at that stage, and then finds absolutely nothing off it. Like, and I just can't believe that's really, like, to be fair, he hasn't beaten Tombstone, but then again, neither did Mellon. Like, people are going, oh, Mellon was the one to take out the race. He didn't beat Tombstone. Like, I think the race was really falsely run, and this was thing I noticed with the key races at Leopardstown was a lot of them were absolute snail gallops, which can lead to odd results. Because Tombstone got an absolute freebie in that race and managed to poach third. It was actually a very good ride by Davy Russell in getting third. Sharjah was impressive. He's beaten Super Sunday 2 lengths though, and is Super Sunday going to win a champion hurdle? Probably not. Super Sunday could win a stayers hurdle, but they seem insistent in going against what I think. And he always runs a good race though, Super Sunday. So he's a good yardstick, and Sharjah's done it well. But the key for him in the champion hurdle when it comes is that good ground. If it's not good ground, like not proper good ground, Sharjah doesn't have a hope. If he does, if it is good ground, he does have a squeak, especially each way. Moving on then, the last grade 1 on the Kempton Stevens Day card was the Feltham Novice Chase, or now called the Quarter Star Novices Chase, and I thought this was a really intriguing clash with the very game, very gutsy Labagois out battling and kind of outstaying top of the game. Santini running on for third, and they were a mile clear of the fourth. I think the fourth is Red Indian. I don't think he's going to be winning any RSA chase. I was very impressed with Labagois. You couldn't not be, but this horse just won't win at Cheltenham, and it won't potentially run at Cheltenham. Like, I think everyone's getting very giddy that this horse is suddenly a big RSA candidate. And if she'd never run at Cheltenham before, you'd say yes. But her runs at Cheltenham are absolutely terrible. She doesn't seem to like the track. She's won at Kempton before. Like, it wasn't a great surprise that she's going to run a massive race at Kempton. I do think the second and third are probably the horses to take out of it. Personally, I'm a big top of the game fan. He jumped the last a couple of fences. A bit funny almost, a bit too skyward. He was giving them too much air. You'd like him to become just a hint more efficient. This Santini seems to be all the rage for the RSA, and some people are declaring him an absolute good thing. And I'm not sure he is, to be honest. He seems to take an age to wind up. I got burnt fingers last year backing him in the Albert Bartlett, which was probably stupid, but in that race he took an age to get wound up, and he got wound up here at Kempton, but far too late in the day. And I just worry and I don't understand why he's favoured when there's a horse in Ireland who's doing all the right things in Delta Work. And Delta Work won again in the Neville Hotel Novices Chase over 3 miles, the grade 1 on the final day. Now, he was at prohibitive odds. And to be honest, if I'm telling the truth, I didn't think he was that impressive. I thought his Tramore chase performance was much more impressive, even though the distance was so little. Delta Work was just a little sloppy in his early jumping. He kind of warmed to the task and ended up in the final circuit jumping very well, but he was a bit skippy to start with, almost got hampered by Ben Dundee, which would have been a calamity. But he ends up winning it all right from Mortal and blow by blow. Like, it wasn't a good grade 1, so you can't get over the top about that form, but you can go over the top about the Tramore form, where he's beaten Larichberg, who's gone out and won the Racing Post Novice Chase by 6 lengths or something, pretty easily actually. So that form, it looks to be stacking up really well. This horse does like 3 miles. I think he outstaged the horses yesterday, or not yesterday, on the 29th. And I think he's a credible chance, and I just can't see why he's 6 or 7 to 1 and Santini's 4 to 1, when Santini looks to be not slow, but just it takes an age to get going. Like, he's a behind the bridle horse, I find, and I just wouldn't be taking the risk at this moment in time. Other big races, obviously, Kemboy, I haven't really come to him. He's very similar to Clan des Obeaux. You just don't know. He's won the race so well, but there's just a hint of me saying that race kind of just... it didn't fall apart, but just it was run so slowly, and then he takes it up. Not seemingly going an outrageous gallop, just jumps them and keeps a hint in the tank and just goes on again. I just feel the race was set up, even though he's ended up making the running for half it. It was set up for a horse with lack of stamina doubts. And Kemboy was one of those where you had a niggly feeling, was this horse going to get 3 miles? And I would still have that niggly feeling whether he's going to get 3 mile 2 in Cheltenham, and I don't think he deserves to be 6 or 7 to 1. But I suppose he has a very good chance. But I just don't. I think he's short in the market for what he's done. Certainly, because it's basing it pretty much on that performance. Monolith, he's a hard one, Monolith. I really am scratching my head. 2.5 seems too sharp, 3 miles seems too long. Maybe it's just not quite good enough at that really top grade 1 level, but I'm still holding out hope that he's going to go for the Ryanair. Road to Respect ran a good race again, though I'm not sure whether the real stiff 3-2 will do him at Cheltenham. And the rest, I didn't think there was that much. Bells Hill ran a good race, staying on, but is Bells Hill going to win a Gold Cup? I really, really have a nagging doubt that he won't. So, I'm going to, suppose, go a little left field here. And I think, now it coincides the fact that I tipped him at the start of the year. I understand that. So people are going to say bias, which is fair. But I thought one of the better performances from a likely horse that's going to have a bit of an each-way squeak in the Gold Cup came on New Year's Day at Tramore in the light of Al Boom Photo, who won the Savills Chase down there, a listed race from Total Recall by 6 lengths. Invitation only beaten 14 lengths. It was actually a very good race because Mullins stacked some good horses in it. But Al Boom Photo had to give Total Recall £10, and he gave him a £10 and a 6 length beating. He's now gone from 33s down to 16 to 1, so you can still get 20 to 1 on Unibet. But he just seems made out for it. And I think last year, he would have been a 2-time Grade 1 winner if it wasn't for Paul Townend's moment of madness at Punchestown. And I think what we're seeing now from the horse, I watched the Tramore race back, and he's jumped a lot more efficiently. And hopefully, that was the thing that probably knocked him back last year as a novice, was he was a bit of a sloppy jumper. He fell at Limerick when he was going to win. He made some poor mistakes and then still finished second in the Flogas at Leopardstown, and then obviously fell in the RSA when probably going to come third, but perhaps even challenging for second. Presenting Percy would have beaten him probably 10 lengths that day. Presenting Percy's 4 to 1, this horse is 20 to 1, and he was 33 to 1. So it made sense for me to rate it as an each-way play. If you think Presenting Percy's good, surely Al Boom Photo deserves a bit of an each-way squeak in the Gold Cup. I would be previewing tomorrow's racing, which is at Sandown in the Tolworth Hurdle, and obviously the Mayor's Race, which Lorena looks to be running in. If she does run in, you really have to think she's going to win, but I don't think she'll be at odds to back. This Tolworth Hurdle, there seems to be a couple of Nicky Anderson horses. The final decks haven't come in yet, so I wouldn't be able to tell you which one is going to win, or is going to run even. I think, though, the one that will run, that has a bit of a chance, is Elixir de Nuts for Colin Tizard. Used to be trained by Philip Hobbs, looks to be progressing with every run. Anyway, this pretty much wraps up the big races. I'll just quickly, the Stayers Hurdle at Leopardstown, Apples Jade won it very well. Apples Jade needs to be running against the boys, at Cheltenham. If she doesn't, then her reputation will never be enhanced from what it is now. Faugheen, I think, was going to run a good race. It's great to see him get up after his fall. Footpad blew up completely. You'd have to be a bit concerned by that. Great Field had also blown up when he'd fallen. Simply Ned always runs a massive race in the, whatever it's called, the Paddy Sugar Paddy Chase on the second day of the festival. But it was an interesting one. But basically, the summary of episode 1 of the Blair White Brief is perhaps a Gold Cup contender has emerged from the Christmas period, but not in one of the 2 big 3-mile Grade 1 chases. Not in the King George, not in the Savills Chase at Leopardstown, the Savills Chase at Tramore. Bear that in mind. I'll see you next time. Best of luck.